I go to bed with all my friends.
Well, hello, old chap. In today's video, I'm going to be journaling and semi-reviewing the movie The Grand Budapest Hotel. Personally, I haven't seen that many of Wes Anderson's movies, and I know that he's a cult classic director, so if there's anything I discuss that can also apply to his other work, I apologize for not making those connections. The other movies of his I've seen were Fantastic Mr. Fox and Moonrise Kingdom. Also, please keep in mind that everything I end up discussing in today's video is my own personal interpretation of this movie. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you've never seen the movie The Grand Budapest Hotel, the story is essentially about a boy named Zero and his adventures with the hotel's head concierge, Gustav H. And that's all I can really say without spoiling the whole movie. I watched this movie for the first time back in February, and I thought it was such a fun movie for many different reasons. The plot itself is one of the reasons why I was somewhat interested in watching it, but what made me stay was the characters and the dialogue. All of the characters felt lifelike and quite captivating in their own capacity. With the way they're written, I would love to know more about each of them on a personal level. I don't necessarily have a favorite character, but I like the themes that the main characters themselves exude. With Ralph Fiennes as Gustav H., we explore culture and class through his role as the head concierge and the way that he speaks. Then we have Tony Revolori as Zero the Lobby Boy, and the audience can explore the effects of war through his actions and the subtle things that he says. And finally, we have F. Murray Abraham as Mr. Mustafa, and through him, we explore grief and nostalgia. I'm pretty sure you can attach themes to quite a few of the other characters, but for me, these three and the themes that they portray stand out the most. Then you have the overarching theme of escapism at play throughout the movie. As an aspiring filmmaker, I hope to write characters with depth as intriguing as these. And the depth isn't just told through the dialogue, it's shown through certain actions, Easter eggs, and the brilliant world building. Even though everything is fictional, this movie is kind of a peek at a society that doesn't exist anymore. The story does feel quite slow at first, but the very necessary world building is captivating enough that the differing paces throughout the film don't feel out of place, and it holds the audience attention quite well. This movie is only an hour and 40 minutes long, but it accomplishes quite a lot. It's very lighthearted and funny, but also quite deep and sad. I've heard that Wes Anderson likes to weave grief in a lot of his movies, and it's present in this film, but it's done in such a way that doesn't feel overbearing. There's not really any shock value or anything that's setting you up to cry at the end, even though I did cry in the end. know that one of the many reasons why people love watching Wes Anderson's movies is because of his wonderful cinematography. He does a lot of what people like to call perfect shots, and while I do have a soft spot for cinematography because I'm also a photographer, his style of cinematography isn't what draws me to his movies. I think that's strictly because I'm more of a character-driven type of viewer than an aesthetic cinematography type of viewer. What I do like about the cinematography in this movie though is how animated it feels. There are certain parts in this movie that feel quite cartoonish, but it works in the movie's favor, which helps make the ending slightly more sad than the dialogue allows. Even the brilliant color palette plays into the cartoonish nature of the movie. And if you couldn't tell, pink was the biggest inspiration for this spread. I rated this movie 5 out of 5 stars because the story itself is fascinating, the characters are wonderful, the cinematography is beautiful, and the color palette is absolute perfection. I watched this movie at a time where I was filled with a lot of self-doubt and was quite sad, and this movie was the perfect place to escape to. If you're a Wes Anderson fan, please let me know what movie of his I should check out next. If you have any thoughts, questions, or qualms, please comment them in the comments down below. If this do be the end, farewell. I will catch you in the next one, friends. Stay gold.